everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to Memorial May, where I am driving us around town and we are checking out historical markers and historical sites so that I can learn a little bit more about where I live in Melbourne, Florida, and I can share all of that with you. Today I have come to a place called Ballard Park, which I can show you on the map where it is. It's right where the river meets the lagoon. I live across the lagoon on the islands. I'm still mainland today. I came here for one historical marker and then was surprised to find that there are two historical markers at this site. So I'm going to try to do one video to talk about both markers, even if I have to cut the information just a little bit short, because I don't think it would be fair to double up the footage on another day and you have to look at the same footage twice. But it's a memorial to someone named Thomas Barbour and also another ace settlement called Pentoaya, which we've talked about before in another video, but this is another part of that settlement, and I'm excited to learn more about it and share it with you. Let's go check this out.
Today's adventure has us driving into this beautiful place called Ballard Park, which is a public park and boat landing on a little mitten-shaped peninsula right here in Melbourne, Florida. The peninsula juts out into the O'Galley River, right where the river flows into the Indian River Lagoon. There are dozens of historical homes and buildings in the O'Galley district, and I hope to show many more of them if the time permits. I came to Ballard Park today for one marker, a tribute for a man named Thomas Barbour, but I was surprised to find a second marker here for an ace Indian settlement, so we're going to just cover both of these markers. The markers are literally side by side. We'll talk about Thomas Barbour first. The monument to him is a metal plate embedded in a huge chunk of coquina rock. Thomas Barbour was born in 1889 and died in 1946 at the age of 61 in Boston, Massachusetts. He is known for being a naturalist, an author, a professor, and a director of the Museum of Comparative Zoology at Harvard University. I have abbreviated his many life achievements for the sake of this video, so if you'd like to learn more about him, please look into his life further. There is no way I could do justice to retelling his many travels, writings, and accomplishments. Thomas was the eldest of four brothers and the son of the founder and president of a successful thread manufacturing company that had much business in the United States, Ireland, and Scotland. Thomas was born in Martha's Vineyard, where his family was spending the summer in 1884, but he grew up in Monmouth, New Jersey. At age 15, Thomas was taken to visit Harvard University and was entranced by its Museum of Comparative Zoology, which he later attended. He received his BA, MA, and PhD from Harvard and later joined the faculty in 1911 after publication of his doctoral dissertation. He became the curator of reptiles and amphibians, although he also studied birds, insects, and particularly butterflies. His biological interests were remarkably diversified, and he is considered to be one of the last true naturalists. His scientific studies traveled him throughout the world and to 5 continents. He traveled to Cuba at least 30 times and was devoted to its land and its people. Barbour wrote several books, including his autobiography, Naturalist at Large, in 1943, Naturalist in Cuba in 1945, and A Naturalist's Scrapbook in 1946. His book, That Vanishing Eden, was published in 1944, and it explores the natural world of a remote, undeveloped Florida. I'm most interested in this book because he wrote about his boyhood adventures when living in O'Galley, exploring this very park here. He writes about exploring this shell mound and from Lake Washington all the way to the ocean, and then about traveling back here later in life with his wife to collect specimens. Barbour was elected to the United States National Academy of Sciences in 1933 and to the American Philosophical Society in 1937. He was a trustee of the Carnegie Institution from 1934 until his death in 1946. He died of a cerebral hemorrhage following 2 years of failing health after the diagnosis of a blood clot. The other historical marker on this site marks another part of the Ace Indian settlement known as Pentoaya. If you watched my very first video in this historical marker series that I put out on May the 1st, we went to a nearby public park to view a wintertime settlement of Pentoaya. The Ace were indigenous Native American people who settled in the general Brevard County area probably sometime around the year 1000 BCE. They were hunter-gatherers that had been surviving for possibly as many as 10,000 years prior to European contact. Pentoaya was an important settlement of the Ace Indians on the east coast of Florida, made up of multiple towns with homes built around a center home and gathering space for the chief. Pentoaya is thought to have been located atop the arc-shaped sand bluffs that surround the western edge of what is now Ballard Park today. Artifacts found here date from as early as 2000 BCE to as late as 1700 CE and range from fiber-tempered pottery to the more recent Malabar check-stamped pottery. Pentoaya's location, where the Ogallie and Indian rivers meet, would have contributed to its economic and political importance among the Ace and their ancestors. This was probably the primary location for the Ace towns during the summer or perhaps even most of the year. The Ace wintertime location of Pentoaya was on the Barrier Islands in what is today known as Gleason Park in Indian Harbor Beach. In 1605, Alvaro Mejia was sent from St. Augustine to negotiate with the Ace Indians in hopes to enlist them to help rescue shipwrecked Spanish crew members and also to open communication for trading of goods. The Ace Indians responded favorably and even helped Mejia to create a map of the 10 Indian River settlements. The longer I stayed in this park, the more I noticed benches, stones, and markers placed in remembrance of people. It seems such a shame not to sit and enjoy this beautiful bench, as it was left here in honor of Kathy and Ricky. I don't know who they are, but I wanted to stop and rest a while in their special spot and enjoy the river, the breeze, the sounds of nature, and the sounds of people having fun out on their boats.
It's a warm one and I'm kind of blustery. I apologize for that. But man, isn't this park beautiful? I've heard about it, and I know that my chiropractor loves to come down here on her lunch break sometimes. And I've meant to come check it out, but I just wasn't putting a lot of priority on it because I had no idea it was going to be this gorgeous. I really, really enjoy just how breezy it is, and it's kind of cool because of the water access, but it's a hot one here in Florida. I'm sorry that I'm a bit sweaty, but I'm having a great time finding historical places to show you. I really hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am. We're putting out one video all 31 days in May with another historical site in Melbourne, Florida. So if this is your jam, be sure to check out the other ones because I'm doing a lot of them and having a great time. Everybody, I'll see you another day in another adventure. Bye-bye.